When my mentor, Reverend Alex Holmes, an ordained Anglican minister out of Cairo, Michigan, arrived in Toronto, I met him first at a hotel that on Yonge Street with my mentor, Ross Peterson, and Ross Peterson's author or writer who wrote the book about Ross Peterson, the new Edgar Casey, Alan Spraggett. I saw this man on stage laying hands on people, and I just knew I had to see him. The purpose was my handicapped daughter needed blessings and spiritual healing. But I was curious, and I asked him, perhaps sarcastically, but I didn't mean it that way, Sir, and I put my hand in the air and I said, can you just turn this power on and off like a tap? Well, he took offense. He kind of dismissed me as a kid. I was like 24 or 5 at the time. However, I went and saw him at his hotel room. He was giving private blessings, healings, if you will. And when he laid hands on me, his fingers went right into my abdomen. That is to say, he laid his fingertips on my abdomen, and the energy from his fingers went in as if they were like like icicles or fingers going into my abdomen. And I looked down and I was stunned. I was amazed. Well, thereafter, I invited him to my house and I had my relatives all gathered around, and I supported this man because he was a spiritual healer, but he was spiritually endowed with something else. And that was that he could heal, and he had miracles, if you will, in the past that would testify to his ability. But at that time, I met people in my house who received blessings, and likewise, one of them had a hand that had scar tissue in it and couldn't bend it, and it throbbed. And Reverend Alex Holmes laid hands on this person's hand, and his hand was flexible and without pain. So I met the man sometime after, and I said, "Hey, wasn't that fantastic? You know, your hand's working now." He was an elderly man. You know what he said? Well, I was outside working in the garden, and my hand, was just by working in the garden, that's what cured my hand. I said, oh my God. Of course, I wanted to engage him and argue with him and say, but it was Reverend Alec Holmes who did this to you. But it was of no avail. I don't think ever that this relative of mine ever actually could digest the idea that he received a blessing from God Almighty through this minister. But I was happy that his hand didn't throb anymore.